like I said, I've been spreading my wings to go outside because obviously you couldn't do it here for the fear of retaliation from my own chief and council, or end up being raided and losing product again. And the first one hurt a lot. There's 7 families that were working for me full time. So like I said, when they raided me, not only took the money from the dispensary, but cleaned the store out. So I kept those 7 families going as long as I could and drained all my accounts it was right at Christmas time. So I had to keep like 7 families going at least until I think we went to February, as long as I can carry it. And that was it. So at that point is when we went outside Chippewa and started doing other things with other nations and helping them out and getting started and partner up, and that's where we went. And like I said, I'm in Toronto now getting things going, but like I said, it's not fair to me and my family to get driven away and having to go make money for everybody else when I have family here that needs to make money. So I'm coming back home. I'm tired of, this is 4 years that they couldn't get their shit straight up there. I gave them time. They told me, don't open back up. I stuck to my end. I didn't open back up. Didn't go against them. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, it's 4 years later, and I can't do it anymore. There's opportunity for me here. There's shops opening up all around us. So 3 in Strathroy. They're going to be in Mount Bridges next. They're going to be in Melbourne next. They're all around us opening up. They're letting the non-natives open up around us and squeeze us out. You know what I mean? And we can't even open up here with safe product, reliable product. I had great members, great clientele. Like you said, I've seen kids get better. I've seen adults get better. And then to get drawn away from that and have to go outside of my own community, I've just had enough. I got family here. My son's Kyle French. He's 28 years old, firefighter, traditional dancer. Sundance. He does the whole 9 yards. These guys, and they're traditional, and that they want the medicine here. So guys like that wouldn't be saying, okay, let's do this, let's keep this open, if it wasn't traditional to them as well, some medicine. I have a middle guy that's 22, that's an engineer, 4th year, and this is all he wants to do as well. He's running my one shop in Hipperwash right now. He's doing everything. Everything's on him right now, ordering, making sure things are all in place. Him and his girlfriend are 22 years old, and they're going to school. This is what they want to do. I got a daughter that's 18, like I said, Team Canada. She went to Sweden, Finland, Switzerland. She's been all over to represent Canada. And at the time, I tried to get some money from Chippewa, as a matter of fact, to help send her because it was $20,000. They offered squat. $20,000 it cost me to send her to, all over the place, man, for Team Canada. She had practice for 2 years before she went. So I've done everything myself, and I've never asked Chippewa or got any help from them, but I've donated back. I've given back. I've helped all their organizations. I have a list of people that can tell you that stuff we've done to help them, and it's time to come back here and get these families going. Those 7 families I had working for me, get them back here and get this place running up and running. It's been 4 years of sitting here kind of stagnant. I'm back in the store here, living in the store right now, and get things going. Like I said, I figure it's our right, We're doing it all over Ontario, all over Canada, and it's I think it's time. I should have never left. I should have never shut down. I should have opened up the next day.
You have every right to open right now.
Yep. So I'm ready. Like I said, I'm ready to get this back here, get my people back behind me, and get families back working. And it's not only about the store, it's about production. It's about making things. It's about getting other things going. We have an opportunity for edibles, for growing, for making tinctures, creams, salves, lotions. So not just one family. There's several families around here that could be, profiting, could be making what they're told, no, you can't, by your own people. So like Del said, it's our time, and it's now, and it's we're ready to open. I'm not waiting for Chippewa to say, we got our licensing in place, or we're doing this, because this is my land, this is my territory that I'm on. You know what I mean? It's not theirs. So I should have never listened to them in the first place. And as soon as they shut me down, I should open up the next day. They shut me down and open up the next day.
This is that very thing has been done in the north. One person was shut down, he opened up the next day.
Yep.
And he's still open.
Yep. And that's exactly what
Couple places.
So if that's what Chippewa wants to do to their own people, and not tell us about their business and interfere in our business, and then there's something severely wrong with our nation right now that, like Del says, needs to be addressed, because this isn't right. put your own people down.
Well, I hope they'll sit down and meet with us,
Yes.
bring their legal staff, and I'll I'll teach them a little bit about their rights.
I'm ready for this, and I appreciate it. Which, yeah, we've always followed the traditional Crane clan systems throughout my father, grandfather, and so forth. And well, that was a proud fact from day one. My man told us we're Crane clan, its leaders. It's a really nice honor to be, and I always knew that Dell was our hereditary Crane clan chief from way back. So we've always followed that system. I think my old man said under 27 years he sat on council under 8 chiefs, and I asked him, I said, hey Dad, how come you never want to be chief? He said, because someone's got to keep an eye on those crooks. That's what he said. Right? And he did.
Yep.
And but he followed the traditional system. Like I said, he was an aim warrior by heart, and political. He was a great politician, and he just wanted to make sure that everything was going right for the nation. That was his main concern, that somebody wasn't. And then he kept that right up until he was, until he was a year before that year when he passed away, when he was on council. He was still making sure, and making everybody accountable was the big thing. Like, he'd get angry, go in there and flip a desk over, but you knew why. It wasn't, he wasn't, there was a reason why he was in there flipping that desk over at the band office that day. You know what I mean? My old man stole the ballot box. We had, the election, we were gonna sell some land back in the Clinch Fraud Trust land back in the day, and we pretty well had sold it already, so we were gonna give the land up and get $1 million or whatever it was at the time, and they had a ballot box at the band office in Muncie, and after a day of thinking about it, my old man says, we're not gonna give that land up, and we're not taking that $1 million. So him and Bill Chang went and grabbed the ballot box right from everybody else, finished all their election voting, and they took it down the river and burned it. So I got 6 months in jail for that. He was on council at the time, but he didn't ask for council's help either. He said, I'll do the 6 months. I did the action, the reason why I did it. Well, guess what? Clinch Fraud Trust years later, we got all the land back plus 25 million, didn't we, Dell?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we were going to sell that out at the time.
There's no way I'm surrendering anything.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? That's just the kind of guy he was, and that's what he would do for his people and stuff. So, yeah, like I said, it's just, it's time. It's time with family honor and who we are, and Crane clan, and we follow that traditional system. My son, like I said, is heavily involved in Sundance. He's a traditional dancer in the powwow scene. It's the whole family's always, we know the medicines. We follow the traditions, and chief and council are there, but that's like an entity. It's to take care of things that are for them, their houses, their roads, whatever they're dealing with. Not to deal with personal issues on people's own property, on their own territories. Because they don't own land. They don't have any authority over my land. So what they'll do is they'll send a goon squad and shut you down, right? OPP or whoever they want to send. But meanwhile, on our water tower, you see Chippewa, Thames First Nations unseated. Well, I thought unseated meant that we didn't have the OPP and everybody on our territory or on our shit. You could have. My son called on Thursday, I think it was, my oldest son, fire department.
And that the authority they have here is totally in the gray area. We know they can be invited, but what can they enforce? Can't enforce provincial law, and they can't. They have no authority to enforce the Indian Act. I suppose they would be helpers to our police. That's essentially. Again, I'd like one of them to explain the basis of their authority on a First Nation.
Yeah, exactly. I try to get that at my trial, what that was, and the validity of the warrant, and why they were here, not the First Nations. When the First Nations police sat at the road, and let the non-native cops come inside. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense.
They're just pushing an assumption. They assume they have all this kind of authority, but when you ask them where is it at the basis of it, they can't explain it. They can't tell you. They don't know,
It's a personal belief.
and they actually, they really don't have it. That's what it comes down to. It's a fictional kind of.
A personal belief, not
Yeah.
a policy or not actual.
No.
Yeah, as always.
Your biggest problem right away is that the province is not a state. We are a nation. How do we discuss rights with a administrative unit? And that's all the province is, administrative unit of the federal government. If it comes to rights, anything as we've done in the treaties and their recognition of our nationhood, we have to deal with the state. So that means the federal government. So that's why you see nation-to-nation discussions. This is the way things should be resolved. Of course, they never are. And then a province, of course, they were created in 1867. We were already established here. We don't even know how they included our whole treaty areas in the province because they never discussed it with us.
Right.
So you've got just a whole myriad of issues that would have to be discussed based on what the province has done to us, because they've been harvesting our resources. Nobody's ever purchased our lands, and yet they're profiting off of the profits, whether taxes or resources on our property, and benefiting totally themselves and not our people, and that's got to change. Treaties are not instruments that deal with the whole myriad of resources or transfers. All they are is an introduction. They wanted to live here, and they paid a small sum, but they didn't have any money at the time either. Small sum of money on an annual basis, but they never bought the land, and I doubt if we would ever sell it to them. But I think that what little amount they're paying for it to us now is not fair, and it doesn't represent what would be a fair share to the landowner.